Adult animation has been a cornerstone of comedy for the last 20 to 25 years, but lately it feels like the genre has lost some of its spark. To test that theory, I decided to revisit 3 iconic shows and compare them against one relatively new show and see how they compare. Here's the plan. I'll watch 2 randomly selected episodes from each show using a random number generator to keep it fair. While watching, I'll write down each moment that amuses me. Whether it's a smile, a giggle, a laugh, even just a huh. At the end, the show with the most reactions out of me wins the title of the funniest adult animated show. Let's meet our contenders. This one's my most watched show on the list. Family Guy is known for its cutaway gags. It's really the only show like it on this list at least. How could I not include The Simpsons? It's like the grandfather of adult animation, setting the stage for so many shows to follow. With its vast cultural influence, I'm expecting high things. That did not sound right. My expectations are high, I guess. Alongside Family Guy and Simpsons, this was an obvious pick. These 3 together form like a big 3 of adult animation, so it would be kind of unfair to leave it out. And finally, the wild card. It's the only show on here that I have no experience at all watching. The other shows I've watched a few episodes here and there, but this one, not even a clip. I mean, I've probably seen a clip. That's just a lie, but I've never watched an episode. Yeah, its fan base would make it seem like it's the greatest show ever. So my expectations are high. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. And hopefully I don't get killed for not liking it if I don't. The rules are simple. Each show will earn 1 point for each moment that amuses me. At the end, I'll crown the funniest show in adult animation based on the total amount of points the show had through the 2 episodes. For each show, I'll only be explaining one of the episodes. The other one, I'll just tell you how many times it amused me and what episode I got. Because if I were to explain both episodes for each series, this video would be 30 minutes long. Season 16, Episode 10, Boy Dog Meets Girl Dog. This episode has 2 plots. The first one is relatively normal for a Family Guy episode, I would say, out of the ones I've watched. Chris believes in a mythical person called Arthur Valentine, who comes around on Valentine's Day. Peter and Lois decide it's time to tell Chris that he doesn't exist. And the way they do that is by faking Arthur Valentine's death. This shocks Chris so much that it paralyzes him. So unlike normal Peter, who would do nothing about this, he decides to be a good father and try to help Chris. He gets into a outfit of Arthur Valentine to try to get him out of this paralysis state. So he dresses up and makes Chris seem like he's back alive. But then Chris thinks, oh my god, this is a zombie. We're in The Walking Dead. So he tries to kill Peter. Peter reveals himself. Then they all hug it out for some reason. I don't think they ever hug it out in any other episode. This plot was actually funny and well done. I really liked it, which is weird because I usually do not like the Chris episodes. Like I said, I've watched a couple of these episodes before. I do not like Chris. Now, the second plot is the plot I have a little bit of an issue with. And it's just because it's so weird. Brian, the dog, meets a new girl dog and he starts going on dates with her. Good for him, right? Brian deserves love too. Everyone deserves love. They go on a few dates and then Brian tries to kiss her, but she's like, no, you can't kiss me. And Brian's like, why? And she tells him that she's a show dog and her owners have it set up that the winner of the next competition, the male winner of the next competition, gets to mate with her. So Brian enters the competition. He wins the competition. They pick him up by the neck, bring him over to her. They put him on top of her, and then he cannot perform. That's putting it lightly. His wand can't do magic, let's say. And because of that, they bring in the second place male dog, and Brian has to watch. And that is just Oh god, it was so hard to watch as a viewer. It was so I felt so bad for Brian. The plot was so weird. I mean, there was a dog cucking another dog. I can't say that happens in very many shows. Okay, moving past that, this show had 6 jokes that I was amused with. This next episode was season 9, episode 9. I'm Joyce Kinney. This episode also had 6 jokes that I was amused with, but this episode just wasn't as funny. Like, it wasn't as good. Clearly, it was as funny, but it just wasn't as good in my opinion. So that's why I described the other one to you. This show was honestly funnier than I thought it would be. It was on Disney, so I didn't even know if it was fully an adult animation or not. But after watching the episodes, it definitely is. The episode I got was season 23, episode 10, Politically Inept, with Homer Simpson. I forgot that's part of the episode title. The Simpsons get on a plane. Well, there's this long part before them going through the airport, all these jokes about, like, airline security and all that stuff, all that basic easy comedy, right? Oh, our bags are too big to get put under the plane. Let's I don't know what I was gonna say. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not a comedian. I just talk about TV shows. So the Simpsons get on a plane and Homer makes a huge scene, because he's Homer Simpson, and someone records it because it's the 21st century. The video goes viral. And Homer gets to go on talk shows and be famous. He gets to go on Ellen and she donates $1,000 to him. He was so good on the talk shows that he went on that he gets his own TV program. His TV program builds such a cult following that it turns into an actual cult. And the symbol for his cult is none other than a gravy boat on your head. Show a picture of a gravy boat. This only makes sense if you watch the episode. It's really hard to explain it just talking about the episode. The power he gets from this cult grants him the ability to choose the next president. Somehow, I don't know how that's like the logical next step. He ends up choosing a terrible candidate, of course, because he's a Homer Simpson. He has the IQ of a goldfish. But Lisa talks to him, and before the president gets chosen, Homer admits that everything he said was a lie, and the episode pretty much ends. And then this episode had 4 jokes that made me amused, but that all happened in like the first 5 minutes. Everything after that was kind of unfunny and boring. The other episode I got was season 15, episode 4, She Used to Be My Girl. This episode was really entertaining. It just wasn't as funny. It only had 3 good jokes. The next show we're going to talk about is the show I thought was going to win it all, but the show I ended up being the most disappointed with. South Park. The episode I'm showing you is season 19, episode 5, Safe Space. There's 2 plots, so I'll start with the main one first. Cartman is getting bullied for being fat. He has the idea to get someone to read through all of his comments and type out only the good ones, and then send them to him, so that like he doesn't have to read all the bad ones, so that feel like he's not getting bullied. You understand. I don't know why I'm explaining this. But no one wants to do it for him because no one likes him. He's the most hated person in this town, and he's a bully. So he deserves everyone to hate him. But eventually Butters is forced to do it. Poor Butters. He's also always forced to do everything. The school ends up having a body shaming assembly because of this whole bullying situation going on. And because of Cartman only seeing the good comments, he now thinks everyone likes him. And then that's really the end of that plot. These 2 plots are very short. Nothing really happens in these episodes. That's kind of my problem with it. And then the other plot is Randy, the dad. He goes to Whole Foods and he doesn't give $1 to the Hungry Kids Foundation. So he gets shamed. And then he starts a campaign against it. And that's really it. I don't really need to explain it to you, but I'm kind of time padding here now that I realize it. Yeah, get scammed. Okay, moving on. This episode had 1 joke that was amusing, and that was the better of the 2 episodes for South Park. The other episode I got was season 3, episode 14, The Red Badge of Gayness. That episode had a fat donut, also known as Zero. This episode was actually so boring, it was a struggle to keep me awake. It was basically just people getting drunk and that's it. Like that was the whole thing. Haha, men get drunk, men act stupid when men get drunk. I know this show is a little based more in like story aspect, so I'm not expecting too much of it, but we'll see. The episode I rolled was season 2, episode 4, Total Rickle. These episodes are kind of confusing to explain, but I'll try my best. There's an alien species which can integrate into people's minds and into their memories. So it's like they've been there, like they're the people's whole lives, if that makes sense. It's like that one guy, that one power in Bleach. I don't know if y'all have watched Bleach. I don't know my fan base very well. Comment down below if you've watched Bleach. The whole house gets full of parasites. That parasites takes Rick's gun and give it to Morty to kill Rick. Morty takes Rick to the garage to kill him. But once he gets there, Morty says that he found out that the parasites can only create good memories. So the fact that there's bad memories between Rick and Morty, that proves that both of them are real. So they kill all the parasites, and that's pretty much the end of the episode. This episode had 2 jokes that had me amused. It was really entertaining, it just wasn't all that funny. And the final episode I got was season 5, episode 1, Mort Dinner, Rick, Andre. This episode, just like the South Park episode, had 0 jokes that had me amused. Although the episode was far better, it was a lot more entertaining. Put a screen results and then show 12 Family Guy, 7 Simpsons, 2 Rick and Morty, 1 South Park. I don't think I'm like a hard person to make laugh, but I thought I would definitely get more laughs out of these shows than I got. Like Family Guy seems about right, Simpsons seems about right, but the other 2 is just way less than I thought. Family Guy is the clear winner here. Its relentless cutaway gags and absurd scenarios still hold up. The Simpsons earns points through sheer volume, though its hit rate is lower. Rick and Morty was the most intriguing, but not laugh out loud funny. And South Park, it was just not good at all, really. Are any of these shows worth watching? For Family Guy and Rick and Morty, I would say yes. For the other 2, I would say you're better off finding something else. Everyone have a great day. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. We're on our road to 1,000 subscribers. Goodbye.